I feel like I'm in a Fallout game right now, and it's amazing. I can't believe this. So here we are. This is... I don't even know. This place is super mysterious. I thought it was some guy's house, but I believe that he owned a business as well, and this was like the office section. Upstairs is rooms. This dude did seem really interesting. He has a lot of old antiques. I mean, just look at this chair. And he has so much left behind. It's almost too weird that all this is left here. I mean, just look at this. There's still tape in the tape dispenser. And that's weird. A little bullet. Whole bookshelf was left behind. And just going through this kind of, all this stuff that's here, thinking that this guy was some type of engineer. He has a lot of old maps, topography maps of different towns and stuff like that, books on engineering, machinery, stuff like that. So we don't know exactly, but I think that's what was going on here. But he's also a collector, and we did find some coins, and he actually has a book of all these coins. So this does show that he was, you know, collecting things, and he was interested in that kind of stuff, which is really cool. And we're gonna show you what else is here. Somebody's chair, you know, I wonder if this was his chair exactly, or just another worker who sat here. But the desk, you know, like I showed you the tape there before, you know, everything's left behind here. There's a note. I'm not sure, you know, what's going on with this note. It's handwritten. Look at this thing. The stuff still works on it. That's ironic, Corona. But it's like he just packed up and left. Well, he didn't pack up. He just left. This old rusty fan. It's just so cool to see all this stuff just forgotten about. It's just creepy. It's like some sort of weird dimension. So I just found this paper, and this dude's company was like Artisan Wells and Equipment. So it was like heavy machinery, stuff like that. So I do think he was an engineer, or something along the lines of, you know, in the construction and behind the scenes building, not actually in the machines running stuff, but he was kind of like the big wig guy behind. But I'm gonna take you into his office that's right here, and we're gonna see what else is left. Really weird. I think that's him, or like somebody taking a selfie with like an old camera and like a reflection. Looks like a ghost. You can see this place looks super grand with these like fancy looking chairs. These look like they belong in a museum. Even the fireplace looks really interesting. But there's a lot of stuff like this just left behind, you know? Like this thing's not even moving. Oh, there you go. Stuck down, but very interesting. Hard to, you know, really pin what was going on here. But the upstairs is like all bedrooms. So I do think he was living upstairs, and kind of like I was saying before, this was like his office. But just look at this stuff. Like, take a look at this room. Tell me this doesn't look like an office. Definitely was. But we're gonna dive deeper and see if there's anything interesting just left behind in here. This is really weird. I just keep finding random bullets. I showed you that one before. I mean, here's the other 5. I mean, no gun yet, but why are there just bullets in this office? Okay, look how cool this is. This was someone's work set up. They got the pencil sharpener, their old computer, the Epson. Haven't seen that brand in so long. And their keyboard. Let's see how it sounds. Let's see if it has that nice click. Oh, look, guys, Apple. That is amazing. We found an Apple box before. That's so cool. I love finding the old Apple stuff. Look at this mouse. They don't make them like this anymore. That computer is left. That's like some of the stuff I really find awesome, like the old technology. When I find like computers and monitors, I think it's just so freaking awesome. Especially when they're just dated like this, it really just shows how old this place is and how the office was running. Nowadays, you're not using these computers. That's not happening. I also found this old book. Like I said, I'm not really sure what was going on. A lot of numbers, a lot of dates and stuff, so definitely was a big money business this guy was involved in. And I mean, the collectibles that he had were definitely worth a pretty penny, and I'm sure they still are. For books, you know, this place is filled with books. It's crazy. Definitely the most books I've seen in this place. What is it, a library or something? That's my attempt at being funny. Okay, this is weird. This is weird. I'm just gonna lay this here. This is like someone's white jacket. Who would leave this? Why was this even in this building? Creepy. Really creepy. I mean, look, it's like silk. I know it looks creepy, but it's definitely like good quality stuff. This must have been the owners. It definitely has shoulder pads too. It's definitely from like the 80s. Decided to show up. We get it, you're on Stranger Things, relax. Millie Bobby. She was here, she actually worked here before this place closed. Here is where this history of this place gets even more interesting with the owner. Supposedly he was into clocks and fixing all these clocks up and watches and stuff. So these are like really small handheld tools. Could this have been for, you know, fixing up that kind of stuff, like watches? Or this is for like the maps, like more topography type stuff. I've never seen any of these tools before. This one looks like a torture tool. Look at this thing. What in tarnation? Look at this thing. These books. Look how old this is. Look at the dust on that. Now, like I was saying before, I mean, the guy who owned this place, it must have been during the 80s when he had this company. And he had people here. Wow. I don't even know when this book could be from, but this house does date back to 1820 when it was built. So we don't even know. Look at this picture that just came out of here. This is like an old Polaroid. It's like so old, looks like a logging company or something. So who knows when this stuff could be from? This house is so old, and it does have a really creepy feeling upstairs. So, you know, there is past history from this place, not just from the previous owner, but there's been several owners. So, you know, a lot of energy in this place. A lot of people have been living here over the years. You know, for hundreds of years, this place has been occupied, and now it's completely empty. So, I'm not surprised that I feel kind of weird and on edge in this place. With what I was saying before about how this place is so, like, aged and dated, this is the section here that reminds me of that, of the age of this place. Looks like we just stepped back into, you know, 1900s. I thought this was interesting because this looks like a painting of the house. And I wonder when this dates back till. That's so wild. So much history in this place, and we're just starting to uncover it bit by bit. I wondered what was going on with this table. It looked kind of weird and awkward. I was messing around with it, and I realized it can be pulled up like this. It's super heavy, and it's a piano. Never seen a piano this style, this shape. So intense. I wonder when this thing is from. You can see all the, where the keys were. All the chords are all messed up. Some of this art, this is like weird for an office, right? I feel like this stuff was definitely from his collection, and he just loved older stuff, or it was just left here from some of the previous owners, because these just look super old. They don't look like reprints either. I mean, look at just the frame it's in. Super cool. These are definitely super valuable. But I never explore these places, you know, to take stuff like this. I would always just leave it behind, but it feels like it should be in a museum, really. In my opinion, this looks really creepy. But this gives me like that weird feeling I was having before. It's like the house is like two different things, you know? It's like half of it's like the office, and it's like supplies and things they would use, and then half is like these old antiques, and it's so weird. It's like a mix of these two eras. It just doesn't fit. It just is really uneasy. Like, this looks super old. Yeah, I just wish I knew the full story on this place. But we're trying to piece it together right now, so it is really nice to be in here, and this is an amazing place with some crazy history. This chair is crazy. Just look at the detailed work in this kind of stuff. I mean, all the places I've explored, I've only seen a handful of things like this left behind. But this place is absolutely filled to the brim with stuff like this. So just wait till we head upstairs. So before I head upstairs to show you where this dude lived, I'm gonna show you the kitchen. I don't know if this was like the kitchen for the office or his personal kitchen. I doubt the office would have a stove, but when you look right here, it's a supply closet, you know, it's filled with all these office supplies. So I'm thinking that it was kind of used with the workers and stuff. I mean, look at this fridge. This is like, it must be from like the 60s. It's crazy. I mean, these are so rare to find, you know, it's just sitting here. Completely forgotten about. But I love this style. It really does remind me of Fallout, if you guys ever played that. A lot of that nostalgic, like, 50s stuff, which I love. Saying before, there's a lot of weird stuff. Like, I can't even lie to you, I have no idea what this is. If someone knows what this is, it says Ibach Keel on it. Little computer monitor. And there's a bunch of, like, switches and stuff down here for it. Like, I have no idea what that is. And it's just chilling here, like, right in the middle of the kitchen. If you know what that is, like, literally drop a comment. Share some of that knowledge, because I'm curious. Nothing completes the abandoned house kitchen with the creepy, weird shoe that looks like it belongs to a doll or a child. I don't know where the child is. I don't know where the doll is. I hope they're not in this house waiting for us, because I am not ready for that. I keep rambling about all this stuff, but like, look at all this tech. I have no idea what this stuff is. Like, what's down there? What is that? It's like in a suitcase. This is like a James Bond type deal going on. That's what it feels like. The kitchen is nothing crazy. I do love the old style of it though. It's definitely dated, and like this whole place, it's really frozen in time. But there is more to see. I just wanted to give you guys a brief tour and make sure I show you every part of this house, because it's super mysterious. And we're kind of just going through and learning about it together. This is this man's office, or what we believe to be his like a little workshop. And I was saying before, he had all these topography maps. Here's a few. I'm not going to get super close. I don't want to film the names of the towns and stuff that he was in. But you can see, here's his little, his ruler. I know he would be using this to like trace out stuff and make lines and landlines and stuff. But like, these are all really old school maps. And they're all just forgotten about, you know, it's so crazy. It's so crazy, you know, he once sat here and he worked, you know, how many late nights did he have? How much time, how much stress came from this room? And now all that's gone. You know, does it stay here? Does it stay with this house after it's gone? And over here, look at these like vintage prints. You can tell it's all like big construction going on. There's actually a dude welding in this picture, you can see. And here's some more. Now these must, oh, look at the outfits, you know, these must date back from, I don't know, I want to say this has got to be the 50s. Just by the style of the clothes. Like, look at all this. This is all like early construction, old generators. I don't even know what a lot of this stuff is. It's crazy. I'm gonna find some more pictures. There's a bunch of them. Look at all this. This looks like an old oil rig or something. There's so many of these guys. This is amazing. I'm gonna flip them around. Hey, look at this guy working. Look, he's got no hard hat, nothing. These are definitely no OSHA back then. Look more. This is awesome. I love all this old stuff. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is history right here. This is forgotten history. And there's a little cabin in the woods. So incredible to see this, but We're actually gonna head upstairs now and get into the, what I would say, creepy parts of the house. Like I said, like, this place was from the 1800s, so upstairs really does feel like that, and it feels like something's still up there, and I'm not even exaggerating. It just has a very strange feeling. Here we go. We're heading up the stairs. This whole drawer of all these old relics, these old pictures, no dates. Oh wow, look at the back. Age 4. The girl's name. Wonder if she lived here. This is from 1928. 1928. An old fire truck. Wow. This is incredible. Look at that. Look how creepy that is. If you guys are on TikTok, you know the song Daisy. Is that the song about you? Wow, that's unsettling. Here's something else amazing that I just found. I don't know if this is the previous owners. I'm guessing this is the previous owners from the date. So we have this, looks like, you know, I thought this was like something I'm gonna get on a cruise ship. Like a souvenir photo. Look at this. Look at this picture. Look at the date. 1957. I feel like I'm in a Fallout game right now, and it's amazing. I can't believe this. We're super cramped, so I'm gonna do my best to walk through. I don't want to step on anything or knock anything down. Just want to show you how much stuff really is in this place. A lot of stuff is in boxes, but you can see the dates. 1958, 1963. Very dated. Even all this stuff looks like some old antique style stuff. Wow, that is really creepy. It's like a dress hanging. Didn't expect to see that. A lot of mysterious stuff in this place. Yeah, look at this. Was this like someone's closet? Look at that, guys. That is crazy. Look at this old... This was like some sort of light, too. That is so cool. This must have been one of the original owners, like her little closet area. And you can see the backdrop on this, how ornate that is. It's like a tile. This is so cool. This is so cool to find this stuff. How old this hanger is. You can just tell how dated this is. And just the fact that this dress is just simply forgotten and left here is amazing. And even the wallpaper, you know, could this have been the dressing room of the woman in the photo I just showed you guys from what I think is like a cruise? I very well think so. Here's another room. Definitely one of the ones that feels a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. It just feels like you shouldn't be in here. And there's a lot of stuff stacked up. Beds, chairs, bed frames, actually mattresses. But we're gonna take a look through. These red chairs are incredible. And you know, here's like an old kind of dresser with a mirror. And I wonder who looked into this mirror, saw themselves, their reflection every day. Love the wallpaper in here. Just gives me that old school like grandma's house vibe. It's hard to imitate nowadays, but this is the real thing. But if you're wondering why this room felt weird, like I was saying before, I think I know why. It's because of her. There's a lot of these like creepy little girl doll paintings, pictures, whatever you want to call it. The way she's looking at me right now, yeah, she's giving me the creeps. Oh wow. Another piano. This one's not hidden, but does have a similar style. I've never seen this style either. Let's see if it works. Nah, probably not. Here's the next room. Let's head on in and see if there's any treasures. I saw these pictures right as I walked in here. It looks like, not really sure what's going on. Looks like they're in some sort of fancy place. When you flip it over, it does have a description. Made of honor, Ruth. So it was a wedding. It's dated on the bottom, 1943, if you guys can see that. 1943. Wow. You know, so long ago. You know, all these people, they're just a fragment of life. And right now they're just a picture, but they were part of someone's life and they were important. You know, I'm sure everyone in this picture has passed away. Maybe this guy might still be alive. He looks like he's probably like 10 here, maybe a little younger. But it's such an honor to see these. It's just, I know I keep saying everything's crazy, but I just don't even know what else to describe this stuff as. Just never seen anything like this. Last room before we head into the creepy secret room. So let's check this one out. Yeah, this one, a lot of them have like just an excess of beds and chairs that were just like thrown in here. But there are some really cool things left. In the closet, they got some clothes, looks like a suit jacket, some shirts left behind. Not sure. Those feel really weird, but they are left here. These freaking amazing chairs, creepy paintings. That's pretty much the theme of this house, antiques and creepy stuff. Take a closer look. Creepy cherub children. There are so many of these really strange paintings. And this one might take the cake, I'm not really sure. They're all creepy in their own special way. I found this old record player. I originally thought it was like a suitcase, but then I saw the dials and I opened it up. I wonder how much fun they had with this thing back in the day, you know, if there was parties or what was going on. I mean, this was like the source of the music back in the day. It's unfortunate that it looks like this now, when it used to be the life of the party. What I was talking about when I'm saying the creepy section, we have this door here. And it's like a secret little walkthrough. And it goes to a completely different section. If you didn't have a light, this would be pretty terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, let's check it out. Let's see what's left. Here we go. Step down. This section is super weird. It was like hidden off. The door was actually closed when the Muse and I looked here. But it's like, it's so different than the rest of the house. This is like super strange. And we walk back with this fireplace, some more furniture. It's just super dated. It looks like nothing's changed here since legit like the 18 or 1900s. Let's keep searching, see what we find. Some antiques hiding back in this section. Look at this like father clock. Wonder what this thing sounded like back in the day when it was going off. Bet it woke up the whole entire house. That's why it's hidden away. Section is super creepy. Almost feels like the room in the horror movie that once you go in, the demon is now released. That's what it feels like. A lot of these really vintage chairs and this whole fireplace was just chilling in this entire section of the house that was hidden. It's so strange. Even has like the books just left up here, like just like they were here all these years, never been moved. It just seems like they updated the house and left this like back in the day, like they just were like, ah, whatever. It's super cool though. Definitely would be creepy to have in your house. Imagine just like coming here at night and sitting here in the dark. And this is what Urbex's Muse pointed out before. This little pup may have just stare at you forever. And we're gonna head up again to the attic section. Let's go. Up again to the topmost floor. And this section is actually amazing. And I can't wait to go through and see what we uncover. The thing we see coming up here is all this stuff. Like, I don't even know what a lot of this stuff is. I know me and the Muse were just looking. This is an old switchboard. And this reminds me of like the old school phones. They would pick it up and like, they would hear through this giant like thing. It's just weird to see all this stuff. It's like, I've seen this stuff in movies, but now that it's here in real life, I'm like, oh wow, like, this actually existed. Like, look at this old phone. I don't think I've ever seen a type of phone like this. It looks like a rotary phone would be, where you would, you know, dial the numbers, but I'm not entirely sure. Even stuff like this. I've never even seen anything like this. If you know what this is, like, drop a comment, because your guess is better than mine. This is some sort of military hat here. I'm not sure. Lieutenant, United States Army. That's interesting. That gives us some more history about this guy. But besides that, there's some really cool antiques up here. Just amazing to see. Now it's about 1,000 degrees up here. We're dripping sweat. I'm seeing these beds, I'm going, how could someone have stayed up here in the summer? With no air conditioning? There was definitely no air conditioning up here. But there's this bigger bed, and then when I look over here, there's like a smaller built-in bed to the wall. Really awesome design, but I don't know about you guys. I don't enjoy sweating while I sleep, and that would be the case up here. But there's still actually one more little room section we're gonna check out. A lot of really old stuff, and this is like some newspaper clippings. I just thought the date was amazing. 1928, and I'm sure this one's around the same time period. You can see what they're wearing. This one seems to be military men in a little posed picture. Yeah, it says cadet office. And I'm not sure what's going on here, but just the date of these and how they're preserved like this is awesome. Here's the last section. Let's just go right in. Definitely doesn't have much in it. It's kind of small. Looks like a lot of just knickknacks and broken stuff. But there's another switchboard here. Like, I don't know too much about switchboards. I'm sure somebody in the comments will know more about this thing. It does look pretty impressive. But I thought this was awesome. The Sony radio. Shout out to Sony. Still making products in 2021. But I love all the old Sony stuff. Super cool. Nostalgic to see that. Here are some more clocks. Like we said before, this dude was working on clocks and fixing them up, so here could have been two that he never finished. These ones look in pretty bad shape, but it's hard to say, but they're still here after all these years, and they look very fancy. Really cool style. You don't really see this anymore, especially you don't see original stuff like this. Whew. Alright everybody, we are going to end this explore right here. I don't know if you can tell, I am super sweaty. It's probably about 100 degrees in this attic. But besides that, this place was incredible. Definitely one of my favorite explores. We saw things that should be in a museum. A lot of people haven't seen this stuff. It looks like it hasn't been moved in all these years. So just to be here with Urbex Muse and sharing with you guys is incredible. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and like always, get out and explore more. Peace.